Court Reporter with Stovall and Associates.
Good evening. Welcome to Court Reporter with Stovall and Associates. I'm your host, Micah Glinsky. You know what? Tonight we have a really special guest. It's Miss Stephanie Lopez. She's the creator of Positive Pahrump. That's a fan page, or I should say whatever fan page, I guess, would be on Facebook. And it's actually turned out to be one of the more interesting resources of information in Nye County, especially leading up to this particular season. So welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad you're here. Anyway, one of the things I always like to do with all of our guests is kind of talk about how you got here. It seems to be that Pahrump, most of the time people have come here for a reason, or they come from all different places, sometimes internationally.
Right.
So, Pahrump, how'd you end up here?
Actually, I lived in Las Vegas for many years. I went to high school out there.
Okay.
My family thought that when the town was booming, that we could come and open our business out here, so we followed.
What type of business?
Masonry.
Masonry,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And so your husband's in masonry?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's a stonemason.
Right.
And you guys moved up here when?
July 2005.
July of 2005, right in the middle of the big boom.
Boom, yes.
And when you got here, did you still have some of that small town feel, or did it feel like it was almost like a mini Las Vegas?
No, it was a culture shock for me,
It was.
especially. I'm a city girl. I was born in California, so then living in Las Vegas, it was definitely a culture shock.
Yeah. You know, I had a similar experience with my wife, actually. We both grew up in Las Vegas, and through just, you know, the different paths in life, we ended up being in Vermont. So we had kind of the same thing. She was a city girl, and you know what? It is tough when you move from a global city like Las Vegas, and then you go out to a rural area. There's a lot of beautiful things about it, but at the same time,
There's no shopping.
there's no shopping. Exactly. So, anyway, you came up to Pahrump, and you're a stay-at-home mother.
Yes.
Okay, so you always filled your time with what types of activities?
I'm actually the PTO president at Highfield Elementary.
Okay.
I'm on the board for AYSO Soccer, so I'm just like a soccer mom.
Soccer mom, and
Yeah.
you're the, I'm sorry, what were you with PTOs? You
The
said?
president.
The president of the board. Oh, so you really are active
Yes.
in the kids' school and
Yes.
everything. That's wonderful. Well, obviously that leads to kind of where you are today. Creating this Positive Pahrump fan page on Facebook, which has really a huge following. What led to you creating this, the Positive Pahrump page?
About a year and a half ago, I attended my first town board meeting, and there was an individual or individuals that said they spoke for all of Nye County residents. I went and said, you didn't speak for me. Our views are completely different. So I started this page because I wanted to see positive in Pahrump, and had that kind of following. I've had this following since I started.
So when you went to this town board meeting, and I'm assuming here you're talking about when the correction facility was probably being built.
No, it was regarding they're trying to get Bill Kohlberger, our town manager, fired.
Oh, okay.
And so I was saying that I liked him. We disagreed. This group and I disagreed. They did a petition to get him to be removed. I petitioned to get him to stay. And then I started this page to see how many other people thought the same way I thought.
So when you went about creating this page, was it politically motivated, or was it the idea of just having people having a place to converse?
To converse, that is it. To have conversations, to talk about events throughout our town, and mainly to bring positive back into this town, because when we originally moved here, people would wave and be nice, and then it started over the years, you wouldn't see that as often.
Do you feel like it was because there were so many people coming into the town that eventually the locals felt inundated and they lost that local feeling?
I think that's possible,
Yeah.
yes.
And so, I mean, again, and that happens at almost any time, but, you know, if you can bring that positive nature back into town, sense of community.
Right.
Anyway, so you went about creating this page. And how did you start building it out? How did you let people know that there was something or resource for them out there to discuss local events and current affairs and politics and whatever that was people wanted to discuss?
I searched in the search engine for Pahrump residents, and I just started friend requesting them, explaining what the site was about. And then word of mouth, I started getting friend requests daily. The first day, I think I got over 200 friend requests.
Wow.
So it started off very fast and very good. So, and then we kept moving forward.
I think one thing we should do, just for the people who aren't really familiar with social networking, Facebook, that type of thing, you know, we probably should describe how this kind of works as far as adding a friend and you know, building out certain people who are going to be viewing something. So how would you go about getting the information or at least participating in Positive Prompt?
For my site, you have to have a Facebook site, a Facebook page, and then you just search in Positive Prompt and.
So there's like a member profile there, kind of gives you a background. So you look to see that somebody is living in Pahrump or has some involvement in Pahrump,
Right.
and at that point they have to request to become
A friend of Positive Prompt.
It's okay. So they actually have to be brought into the mix.
That's correct.
Okay. So once they're there, what are they going to see on these message boards as far as Positive Prompt?
It could go from anything to political to events that was just like recent. David Brukowicz and Paula Cooper held a PDOP event in.
What's a PDOP?
It's for the disabled children.
Okay.
So we advertised that on Positive Prompt. We talked a lot about the sheriff's race and the DA's race.
Which were really the two hotly contested races.
In Nye County.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it goes from anything. It goes from how I feel that day. I started in November because it's Thanksgiving, what I'm thankful for, and what I'm asking everybody else what they're thankful for. So, I mean, it just depends on...
So you would give a topic. Again, this is for the people who haven't been on Positive Pahrump. So you would give a topic and then allow people to come in an open forum and discuss that topic.
That's correct.
Does that sound right? Do you find a lot of times that people will be posting an opinion, or will they be answering somebody else's comment, or is it a little bit of both?
It's both. I tried to run a neutral page versus political, like how I voted or what I am, and so I'm trying to be unbiased. And with that, we have people that are very vocal and get their point across, and we have other ones that are quiet that just like it.
Like every community,
right,
really.
Right.
Well, okay, so the people are friended, they can start discussing the issues, and then now we can lead into a hotly contested political season, which I think kind of started taking over the theme. We'll get back to that after our first commercial break, and we'll start talking about Positive Prompt in this political season.
Okay, great, thanks.
All right, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Court reporter with Stovall and Associates.